Yo guys, Theo here. It's Friday, so the third eating day of this week. I've been eating every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, training full body on these days, and fasting for the other two. So, and I'm cutting off like crazy. It's awesome. So kind of a troll title as usual to draw you in. But it's not though. It's kind of accurate. You're gonna see, I'm gonna tell you a little story, and you're gonna see 2 times I kind of was wrong about fasting, and not counting, not knowing about it before I start out, like since starting with fasting. So, I found coal when I did my first 5-day fast, that I did because I met a Canadian guy who told me he was so poor growing up that sometimes they didn't afford to eat, and that's how he learned about fasting. That's what made me try it. But under this 5-day fast, I found the coal, found out about the snake juice and the electrolytes, and from there I experimented a lot with the fasting. I did do it more often. I did, 72-hour dry fast, 48, like 3 48s in a row with just one meal refeed in between. I've done up to 5 days several times and such. And I did do it more. I did know that as much as I'm doing it right now, this is not how much I will be fasting in the future. I'm just learning right now. But I did, though, think that I was going to do it more, like more often, like say 48 hour per week, or 72 per 2 weeks. Like a 72 per 2 weeks I could probably do at some moment in my life, depending on my goals with my training at the time. But yeah, so and it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, all of this, that Cole Robinson, obviously many of you, if you are a Swede or something that don't know about the snake diet and Cole, that's how most people found this channel to begin with. But it's kind of funny that he has made kind of a switch lately. And I honestly feel like this. Absolutely, my point is not that I am smarter or know better than Cole or anything, but I do this a lot when I find men that I think have really good experience and knowledge. They can teach me a lot. I just suck it up all from them. I don't have to go through all the years of fasting like he did, because I can learn from his experiences. And so I kind of sucked up all his knowledge and kind of arrived at the same place where he is at now, by myself. It's kind of funny. Both before this, now he's preaching more, eating more and exercising more to ramp up the metabolism. And it's kind of funny, the 2 routines he talked about him doing before this was the 48 eating every other day, the thing I'm doing right now basically for this cut, and then the eating for several days in a row on a surplus and then ending with a 72 and repeat. Both of these concepts I came up with on my own, and I was like, yeah, obviously Cole is thinking this too. And then lately, when I started bulking, this is when, after having trained a lot and doing some nice strength increases and staying very lean, low body fat percentage, I just noticed that I think my muscles aren't growing that much. Maybe the fasting, it doesn't really, like now I'm cutting, I don't feel like I'm losing muscle at all. I feel like it's mostly fat, very, very much so, but that it's hard to build muscle. You gotta remember, your body is a master of adaptation. It tries to, it tries to read all the signals, all the inputs it's getting from what's going on. Like the weather, the temperature, the sun, the level of light. If you get to eat, if you get to drink, the body tries to make the best decision after having taken all of that into consideration. And I just think that probably, say this routine, if you really make sure you eat enough, and say that you train and eat on a surplus for 2 weeks, and then you do a 72-hour fast, and then you repeat and do that, I think you can probably gain muscle then, if you make sure you really eat enough on the eating days. But when, as much as I did it, and more spontaneous, I just threw in fast whenever it was possible. Yeah, I didn't lose muscle, but I really, really feel like it stunts muscle growth. It becomes hard to make progress at some point. And like I say, easier with the strength because it's more nervous system than actual muscle growth, you know, with the strength. Yes, but so it is. This is the first time I felt like I was wrong about fasting when I decided to start bulking, eating, like deciding beforehand that now I'm going to eat for like months without any prolonged fasting and just intermittent fasting. As soon as I noticed how quickly I made gains again from this, yeah, I knew that I was wrong about fasting in that way. You know, like, okay, I'm not supposed to do it that often. And then I did my video, like, prolonged fasting, my opinion after 10 months. And I pretty much think the same as in that video, but now, after doing this, so if you're new to the channel, I'm doing a cut right now that I started with a 72-hour fast, and from that point I ate, when I broke the fast, the day after, also which was Monday, and then every other day from this, I eat on a daily surplus. It would be a surplus if I ate every day, but I eat every other day. And yeah, this fasting, again, has reminded me why fasting though is so awesome, because I did say in that video my opinion after 10 months that I will still be doing it and stuff, but I really, yeah, I knew I would be doing it, but I was, at that point, I did not look forward to fasting, if you see what I'm saying. Yeah, I felt like I was, you know, done with it, not forever, but just had enough of it, you know. And now this fast really, or these fasts have really reminded me why I think it's so awesome. It's not only the weight loss. The weight loss is like, it's so unexpected when you start to get into fitness, you know. So many ways to cut, many meals a day, caloric deficit, oh, eat keto, just eat keto, oh, do this HIIT cardio or whatever. And turns out all you had to do is not eat, and it is no if you're not already like anorectic or something, it is no starvation. You do eat from your own body fat very efficiently. But it's kind of a bonus. What I've been reminded of is like the spiritual part of fasting. You know, I say on this channel that sometimes, just to say it quickly, I say I've killed my ego or something. And you know what I mean by, don't take it literally. It's like my ego is very, very compromised. But under a lot of stress and stuff, I can still, you know, start identifying with some of those thoughts that I usually can just let pass. You know, oh, why am I doing this? Is this the right? Oh. And just general insecurities, you know. Oh, will I make enough money to pay for my stuff? You know, all those things that I usually don't worry about. That can happen sometimes if I'm stressed, training hard, eating every day, and fasting just makes it so easy to get out of all that and see it so clearly. Yeah, and it's like with this walking around and filming, you know, I'm never super uncomfortable with it, but I can get distracted by people around, you know, stuff like that. And when I do the fasting, I don't care at all. Then I start filming in locations I wouldn't choose otherwise, you know. So this is so awesome. And so, and yeah, to get it back to where Cole is at now, you know, it's very funny reading the comments on his videos. People are so mad. People like being angry at Cole and misunderstanding what he's saying. I get that it's a little funny that he's now yelling at you that you're fasting too often when he's told you to do that all the time. But come on, it's his character, it's his shtick. This is how he presents stuff. Not like, oh, you know, guys, this is a very nuanced presentation of how I still like the fasting, but I've kind of changed. I think you should exercise more. You know, that's not his style. So, you know, don't worry about it. I think some people misunderstand too, just because he... you know, he adjusts on the way. He finds something he thinks is better and has the guts to tell you, you know, instead of, you know, being afraid that you all will get angry. But so many people, they're like, what? He's been for prolonged fasting and now he's not. You know, but that's not the impression I gathered at all. And it makes so much sense. With it. Obviously, the metabolism goes down when you fast. Not on one fast, maybe, but you know, if you do it like that all the time, yes, I say that how your NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, goes down on the fast. That's obviously an attempt from the body to use less energy. Yeah. So it makes so much sense to still do the fasting, but combine it with eating a lot and training your metabolism to be fast. And this is what, you know, my 72-hour fast now, I think that's why it felt so good. Both the fact that I deloaded into it, did like easy workouts into it, so I wasn't all, you know, taxed and sore when I started the fast, and I get no food for repairing it. But also that I've been eating on a surplus for so long, and I do move around a lot apart from training. You know, in my work I stand or walk or even do a deadlift to show on, albeit on a weight that's not very challenging for me, but you know, I move around a lot. Yesterday I walked 30,000 steps. I did not try to do that. That's just from my life. And yesterday was a fasting day. It's super high energy. So I think it makes a lot of sense that eating on a surplus and moving around a lot ramps up your metabolism. So if you do that and your metabolism is like, it's a big flame when you go into the fast, you will burn so much more than if you like do a 72-hour fast and then a refeed, and then a 72-hour fast and then a refeed. And this is one thing I was wrong about. I thought that probably was a good routine for some, but no, now I would prefer it that you eat for a few days, and when you eat, you know, no tiny feeding. Yeah, that would be the tiny feeds. If you eat daily, that would be on a daily deficit for a bit, but still then you should have days when you eat more. Yeah, so yeah, to summarize it, I was wrong about fasting in that I thought you could do it a lot and still make muscle, gain a lot of muscle if you were smart about it. I mean, it's not impossible with a right routine, but it's going to be very, very, very hard with a frequent, prolonged fasts to build muscle. Because, like I said, the body trying to make the best choice out of everything that's going on in your environment. And you know, if you don't get to eat for several days, your body probably isn't going to prioritize building muscle a lot of the time. But then I was wrong in that I thought I was still gonna do it, but a little bit less. But now I've noticed how much it has its play. That's the cool thing when you train in this way, though. I can have months. This is my opinion on the fasting now. You can have months where you eat like I've had now, and then you have periods when you fast more. And then maybe sometimes I'm not going to be cutting or bulking, then maybe I'll do this semi-often, you know, a 72-hour fast every third week, maybe something like that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm back to being a little bored about fasting to thinking it's really, really awesome, being reminded of the great stuff about it. And yeah, and I will say this, with more movement and stuff, it's so important. It's so important. You can't just fast your way to health. Absolutely not. Exercise is more important than fasting, always. Absolutely. 100%. You know, you get autophagy from the exercise too, by the way. Yeah, the moment I feel like this is what, like on the bulk, I did gain a lot of weight, but surprisingly little. It seems to be a lot of muscle and not, yeah, absolutely, that I gained mostly fat. That's how it works on a bulk, if you're not a, you know, steroid guy or something. But I was impressed with, I did not lose the abs ever. They just got less defined, you know, and I expected to almost, no, not lose them, but lose them more than I did for sure. And you know, when I do get the pump, I still looked ripped, you know, and not so soft. And I absolutely think that is not only because of you know, eating healthy foods, lots of red meat and rice on a surplus, and moving around a lot. Apart from the strength workouts, standing a lot, training clients, helping them, just walking if I have the time and not take the bus, and go to the outside gym and do some strength workouts, but not the overloading workouts, just using my body, moving through emotions. I think, yeah, this lifestyle, I think I'm gonna look like a beast in a few years, like a total beast. People will say that I'm enhanced. That has already happened to me, but that's dumb, people. I know I don't look enhanced. But it's been kind of my goal, kind of a funny thing. I guess, I want to go as far as I can, and when a lot of people think you're on steroids when you're not, I think it's a very cool place to be. So yes, I hope I probably remember something afterwards that I wanted to add. But yeah, it's so great with the fasting. I thought alternative fasting was going to be harder than it is. It was a little tough, right at the middle of the day yesterday. But then when I arrived and started training clients and having a good time with them, it all disappeared. And now I'm back to, I was impressed that I felt so like I was in such a deep fasted state only 24 hours in. I think that's because of all the exercise, the movement. It speeds up all the processes in your body in that way, Now I'm over 40 hours fasted and I'm not even hungry. I kind of feel like keep fasting one more day. I haven't fully decided. It would be fun to work out too, but I'm just feeling so great right now and no cravings at all. So let's not say at the end of this video how I do it. It's very likely that I just go with a plan. I don't, like, emotionally, I feel like keep fasting today, but the plan, I'm gonna have to rethink things so much. So we'll see. But yes, if you found this video helpful and my voice pleasant to listen to and my face pleasant to look at, looks even better with the glasses, I think. But it's a bother with the contacts sometimes, dry eyes right now. Yeah, but then if you think all of that stuff, you should subscribe so you don't miss more content about fasting and health and getting ripped, building muscle, healing yourself from spiritual trauma, all that cool stuff that would give you a great life. You should subscribe and like the video to help me out. And also tell everyone that you think might be interested about this cool Swedish guy. That's just an awesome guy that you should follow.